of Public Works for April 15th, 2020. It's 9 a.m. We don't have a whole lot of business today, but glad to see everybody participating from a safe social distance. It's good to see you. First and foremost, let's do roll call to make sure that we have established a quorum. Of course, I'm here. David Reed.
Here.
And Jim Adams. Make sure you're unmuted when you need to talk. And then we're also joined by Clerk Treasurer Donna Coomer and City Attorney Mickey Weber. Thank you all for joining this way. First off, we've got the agenda. All of you received the packet through email with the agenda and the relevant documents for this particular meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as it was provided.
Motion made.
Motion made by David Reed.
Yes.
Okay.
David Reed.
Thanks. And is there a second? I can't hear you. I saw you talking. I can't hear you, Jim.
Oh, there we go. Jim Adams seconds.
Perfect. Any discussion or changes to that agenda? Okay. If you when we vote on this, if you say yes or no in your name, so that way I can keep up with it, since there's just a few of us. So all in favor of approving the agenda as it was provided?
Yes.
Yes.
David
Jim Adams.
And Jim Adams. So it's approved unanimously. All right. Our standing business is the only new business other than potential swearing in of a new officer. So let's get through that. We have the approval and correction of prior meetings minutes from the last time we met on April 1st. You've all been provided a copy of those minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes as they were provided?
Jim Adams makes a motion.
Okay, motion made by Jim Adams. Is there a second?
David Reed, second.
Seconded by David Reed. Any discussion on those minutes?
No, by David Reed.
Seeing none. Okay, on the vote, David Reed, yea or nay?
No, nay.
Nay?
Nay.
To not
Nay.
approve them?
No. I thought you said the corrections. I'm sorry. Yay.
We're voting to approve the minutes as they were provided. Yay,
Yay.
Adams. All right, so minutes are approved unanimously. You've both been provided with a copy of the claims through email. Is there a motion to approve those claims as provided?
I make the motion. David Reed.
David Reed, is there a second?
Jim Adams seconds.
Okay, any discussion on the claims?
David Reed, no.
No
Jim
discussion?
Adams, no.
No discussion? Okay, on the vote to approve the claims, David Reed, yea or nay?
Yay.
Adams, yea or nay?
Yay.
Okay, and so current claims approved unanimously. And then you got the payroll allowance docket from the most recent pay period. Is there a motion to approve that docket?
Jim Adams makes a motion.
Thank you, Jim. Is there a second?
David Reed, seconds.
Seconded by David Reed. Any discussion on the payroll?
Nay.
Nay.
David, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Nay.
Calling for the vote on the payroll approving the.
Yes.
Okay, and Adams?
Yes.
Yes, and so approved unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. That's all of our standing business. So what we have today for new business is a presentation for the hiring of our 16th police officer. So I'm going to step off of the camera frame, and Chief Tim Wolf is going to come up and make that introduction. And then when he's finished, I'll come back on and we'll call for the vote. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Tim.
morning.
How is everyone?
Good.
I'm excited this morning to introduce to you Darren Baker for consideration of swearing in as our 16th officer. Some of you probably already know Darren. Darren's a former officer here at Charlestown Police Department. He was hired as a reserve in 1993. He served for 5 years as a reserve. He was hired as a full-time officer in 1998. During that time as a full-time officer, he was a firearms instructor, an ALIA generalist instructor, field training officer, SRT team member, and Christmas with a cop coordinator. Darren was one of my FTOs as I was coming up through the ranks. So Darren separated from the department in March of 2016 to pursue some other opportunities, but he's always maintained a positive relationship, remained in good standing with the department. About a month ago, when this whole COVID crisis kind of started getting underway, I started thinking, you know, how could we bring back how could we get some senior leadership? How could we get some experience back on the department? We have, you know, more than half of our officers have 5 years or less experience. So I reached out to Darren on a Friday afternoon. And I said, Darren, how would you feel about making a comeback? And he goes, I think about it every day. So he's still got that fire in his belly. So with his permission, I started looking into whether we could even bring him back or not. So I called PERF, which was our retirement fund, and they were like, absolutely. So I called the academy, and they were like, absolutely, you can bring him back. So we started the process with the mayor's approval. He's been to PERF, Public Safety Medical, been through PERF. He's approved, no problems there. With the academy, if you vote to bring him back as a 16th officer, he comes back with full arrest powers. Only thing we have to do is put him through a 120-hour refresher course, which is done here at the police department. He does not have to go through the full academy, and we have 6 months to complete that. So that can all be done while on duty. You know, Darren's spoken with his family. They're excited for him to come back. He's literally texted me almost every day. Hey, have you heard anything from PERF? Because that takes a little while. He's very excited. All the officers, I've spoke with most every officer, all the senior officers, police department. They're all excited to have Darren back. I just, you know, it's going to be a good thing. I think we can put him immediately back on the schedule. You know, the guy's got 23 years of experience. He's going to be an immediate impact. So I currently have 2 officers that are scheduled to go to the academy. One officer got sent home from the academy due to the COVID crisis. The academy shut down for a period of 8 weeks. So that officer had 5 weeks left. So he's back, but he'll have to go back to the academy. Then once he comes back, I'll be sending another officer to the academy. So Darren can definitely help fill in some gaps until, you know, we get those 2 officers back, and it'll be nice to have that 16th officer back and be back to full capacity again. So, but anywho, so hopefully you guys will vote to bring Darren back on. So I'll turn it back over to the mayor.
Thank you, Chief. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the hiring of Darren Baker as our 16th police officer.
David Reed makes that motion.
Okay, David Reed makes that motion. Is there a second?
Jim Adams will second that motion.
Jim Adams, second. Is there any discussion? I think Chief pretty much summed it up why this is a good hire. So I'll call for the vote. David Reed, yes or no?
Yes, David Reed.
Jim Adams, yes or no?
Yes, Jim Adams.
Okay. And yes, and so it approves unanimously. And so what I'm going to do is turn the camera a little bit so that we can, from a safe social distance, swear Officer Baker in, so that at least he can share with his other family members the video of his swearing in when the time comes. We usually do that. So bear with us. It's kind of one of those days where it's like we would normally have family here and do a lot of pictures, and we can't do that. So if you'll step into the frames that your family can see. There you go. All right. All right, Karen. You'll raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I,
Darren Baker,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America and the Constitution and laws of the state of Indiana against all enemies, foreign or domestic, and that I will faithfully and justly discharge the duties of an officer of the Charlestown Police Department according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations. We'll do it like virtual fist bump. I'm so excited to have you. Okay, I'll give you this when this is over. All right, so COVID-19 swearing in is done. Always a unique experience around here right now. All right, well, we have no other business before us for this meeting, so unless you have anything that you need to say or add, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion, David Reed.
Okay, David Reed makes the motion. Is there a second?
Jim Adams will second that.
And Adam seconded. All in favor of adjourning this meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all for attending our virtual Board of Public Works meeting and swearing in of our new officer. Be sure to congratulate Darren if you'd like through email. Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.